Welcome to this Yin Yoga practice for pelvic floor relaxation, starting today with a Swan twist. So for this position, you're going to lay in a hook lying position, so lying on your back, having the knees bent. You're going to hug your knee in towards your chest and externally rotate at the hip. And then allow the foot to come down to the floor for version 1. Now we have multiple versions here, so this is the deepest version of this position. Alternatively, you can allow the foot to come to rest on a blanket. So this is a slightly more supportive version of this position. Another option would be to use a bolster for the support. So for this, we're going to actually place a blanket on the mat so that we have something underneath the body, and this gives just a little extra support. So again, you would come to laying in the hook lying position, drawing the knee in towards the chest, externally rotating at the hip, and allowing the foot to come to rest on the bolster. Now in this version, you can rest on the bolster, or you have the option to bring the foot to the floor, and you can use the bolster if needed. So try these different versions and find the one that feels most comfortable for you, making sure to use whatever support you need. So placing whatever props around your body that you need in order to allow yourself to relax in the position. So taking any final adjustments before we begin. We're going to relax in this position for 3 minutes on this side. So as you begin your relaxation, I want you to notice how it feels around your hips. This is an asymmetric pose. So as you allow yourself to relax in this position, I want you to notice the left side of your pelvic floor and notice the right side. I want you to feel the difference between left and right. Notice where you feel compression, notice where you feel lengthening. And I want you to let go of any tension that you feel in the pelvic floor. Bring your awareness to the sacrum. And I want you to feel the glutes out through the back side of the sacrum, reaching round onto the sides of the legs. Just notice how the glutes feel. Can you release any gripping around the glute muscles? And then bring your awareness down through the legs. I want you to notice how it feels on the front side of your legs. You shouldn't feel any discomfort in any of your joints in this position, so your knees should feel good, your hips should feel good. Take any little adjustments you may need if you feel discomfort. This is a practice where we pay attention to the joints while allowing the muscles and the connective tissues to let go. Notice how it feels in the spine. Feeling with your mind through the spine, starting at the sacrum. You will notice that there's a twist. Can you allow relaxation around that gentle twist in the lower part of your spine? Can you allow the weight of the hips to be heavy? Notice how it feels in your shoulders. Invite a gentle softness through the body. And then starting to take the first of 3 long, deep breaths. Each inhalation reaches through the body, gathers tension. each exhalation allows the tension to release. Inhaling deeply and exhaling as you gently make some movement with the hands and reach around that leg. Hug the knee in towards the chest and make some small circles, just feeling through the hip as you do this. And then we're going to prepare to windscreen wiper the legs. So taking the legs to the left and the right, giving yourself a little butt massage here in the middle. And this is a great way to reset the hips before we begin to take the position on the opposite side. So you will take the same version on the opposite side if that feels good for your body. So again, you draw the knee to the chest and externally rotate the hip. And then allow yourself to lower the foot towards the floor. So just taking your time as you find your way into the position. Using whatever props you need to support you. You are going to be relaxing in the position for 3 minutes. So taking any final adjustments and then beginning to relax and let go. And as you begin this deep relaxation, I want you to notice how it feels in the pelvic floor. So is there a difference in the left side and the right side when you're in this position versus how you felt when you did the first side? Very often we have more tension on one side than the other. So practicing these gentle asymmetrical positions present the opportunity for a deeper release. So let go of as much tension as you can. Feel the inhalation expanding the pelvic floor as you allow the weight of your hips to become heavier. Notice how it feels in the legs. The knees should feel soft and comfortable. Notice if you're gripping around your hands. Notice the shoulders, allowing them to be heavy. And then feel the spine with your mind from the sacrum coming through the twist all the way up to the neck. And notice if you can let go of the tension around the twist. Bring your awareness to your jaw. Notice if you're gripping. Try to allow everything to be soft in your body. Imagine a lengthening. Imagine letting go. With each breath you take, let go a little deeper. Find the stillness between your thoughts. Try to allow the mind to rest as the body becomes heavier. Letting go of all effort. And then starting to take the first of 3 long, deep breaths. Breathing to fill the lungs completely and exhaling as though you could breathe away the tension. One last deep inhalation. And as you exhale, invite movement into your fingers. Gently bringing the hands around that knee and taking the hip back, hugging the knee towards the chest and making some little circles with that hip. Preparing then to windscreen wiper the legs. So this is a reset of the hips before we move to our final position. So windscreen wiper from left to right, a little butt massage, while continuing to let go. And then we're going to come to a seated position in whatever way you feel like coming up. We're going for a wide leg straddle position. So you can roll up your blanket, and the first version is the full straddle. So just with the blanket under the knees to gently allow the hamstrings to have a little bit of a release as you fold forward over the bolster. Now this is the first version. We do have other versions that are gentler with more support. So for the second version, you can use 2 blankets under the knees. So make these blankets a little thicker than you had for the first version. And you can use 2 bolsters for support. So this gives you a little bit of extra height. So this would be an intermediary position where again you relax forward onto the bolsters. The final version, version 3, allows you to rest your legs over the bolster with a shallower straddle, so the legs are not as wide, and you can use a bolster propped up to rest the head. Now this is fully supported, this version. So you come to whichever version feels right for you and make final adjustments as you need to, and then allowing yourself to begin the relaxation with a deep letting go. Now in this straddle position, both the adductors on the insides of the legs and the hamstrings on the back of the legs get a deep stretch. And both of these muscle groups are connected through to the pelvic floor. So I want you to bring your awareness first to the insides of the legs. Try to let go of any tension. Bring your awareness to the back sides of your legs, to your hamstrings, and releasing the tension there. So imagine lengthening of the hamstrings. Allow a softness around your knees and your ankles. Not holding tension, but letting go. Bring your awareness to your pelvic floor. In this straddle position, there's a lengthening through the pelvic floor. So as you allow yourself to surrender the weight of your upper body into the bolsters, I want you to allow the pelvic floor to lengthen and relax. Imagine that the inhalation can reach down to the pelvic floor, creating an expansion, that the exhalation breathes away tension. Try to allow your shoulders to be heavy. Notice if you're gripping with your hands or your feet. Allow the fingers and the toes just to release. No effort. Notice how it feels in the neck. You shouldn't feel discomfort around your neck. You should just feel a lengthening and a release. Notice how it feels in the hips. Feel the hips and then move your awareness through the backside of your body. As the awareness moves up through the spine, imagine you can allow a little bit of space to come between the vertebrae, allowing the weight of the rib cage to gently release, creating length through the spine. Allow your belly to hang. Resist the temptation to grip anywhere in your body. What can you let go of? as you surrender in this position. Notice where your mind goes as you relax into the discomfort within your connective tissue. Notice if the thoughts are racing. Try to use your breath to calm the mind, using the breath to lengthen through the pelvic floor, allowing the breath to relax the entire body. And however much you think you're letting go, I want you to let go a little deeper. And as you allow the weight of your body to become heavier, start to take the first of 3 long, deep breaths. Make these breaths count. Allow them to remove any remaining tension, breathing it away, allowing a deeper release, and then making small movements with your fingers and toes, and very slowly moving from this position, pressing into the hands to walk yourself back up, coming to a seated position. You can move the props out of the way, and you'll take your hands around behind the knees and use the strength of your arms to release the legs, hugging the knees for just a moment. And then you're going to stretch the legs out in front and give them a little shake and a wiggle of the hips and the legs. So just letting the blood come back in, you can open through the chest and come to a comfortable seated position as we end this practice.